let's say you have a cigarette craving. What you would do is the same thing if you had a cat allergy. It's exactly the same thing, but you don't address it the same way. The recipe is the same for every issue. The only difference is the choice of words, and it has to be the words of the person the patient, the words of the patient. This is when it works best. So you as a therapist, you merely help the patient see what's wrong. It's very much a self-healing process. So this is how it works. You have a first phase of the process, which is called a setup, in which you either tap what is called a carotid choke point, or rub a spot on the chest, upper part of the rib cage, either left or right, which is a bit sore when you rub it. That's why we call it a sore spot. And either while tapping or while rubbing, you repeat a sentence that is composed of two parts. The first part is stating your problem. In that case, even though I crave a cigarette right now. And the second part of the sentence is a part of acceptance. And the classic way of stating it is, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. For the second part of the treatment, you have the tapping process, which is the heart, the core of EFT. The different points that you can access are top of the head, end of the eyebrow, side of the eye, under the eye, under the nose, under the chin, under the collarbone, on the side of the rib cage, under the nipple, and the carotid choke point. This is a shortcut, but nevertheless it's very efficient. And every time you tap a point, you would repeat your problem. It would be like cigarette craving. I have this cigarette craving. I crave a cigarette right now. I crave a cigarette so much. Cigarette craving. This intense cigarette craving. I wish I could smoke. Cigarette craving. This intense cigarette craving. That's it. You could also use, after this tapping session, you could use the eye movements that were developed by Roger Callahan and Gary Craig. These eye movements help you to integrate the change. They align your sympathetic and parasympathetic systems so that they communicate, and they give an exit to the bad emotions that were stored in your limbic system. So they are very, very, very useful if you're kind of stuck, if the tapping is not enough. So for the eye movements, you would tap consistently on this point here, between on the hollow between the two fingers here, on the back of with 2 fingers, on the back of your hand, and you would close your eyes, open your eyes, look on the bottom left, bottom right, make a circle with your eyes, and in the other direction, hum something, anything, count to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hum again. This sounds completely crazy, and it looks kind of goofy when you do that in public, but trust me, people don't notice. They tend to completely overlook you, and they're not that interested in what you're doing. So it's no big deal. I do that on the subway. That was the EFT recipe. If the cigarette craving is still there, you have the option of going at it again with a slight difference. Remaining craving, remaining cigarette craving, remaining cigarette craving, remaining cigarette craving, etc.